And they do it very, very comfortably. So we actually seem to be having a generation with no proper language. Therefore, I'm saying I have 3 tongues, but none of the tongues are very useful. We do not have one language where we are absolutely comfortable. Tibetan youngsters speak a Tibetan which is very fast, punctuated with a lot of English and a lot of new expressions, phrases, idioms, which we created among ourselves, among the Tibetan younger generations. And then we have dialects, we have TCV dialect, we have similar dialect, we have Dalhousie dialect, and we have Mussoorie dialects, we have Bailukuri dialects. And we can detect these dialects very quickly. If somebody spoke something in Darjeeling dialect, we can very easily detect, oh, Darjeeling. Because their accent is different. And Mussoorie, and just the choice of words are very different. So we know they are from Mussoorie. And TCV, I'm massive in TCV, so we actually have that kind of. So it is very interesting to see what kind of language. At one time I'm saying there is no language. On the other hand, I'm saying we have so many languages, even Tibetan languages. Now Tibetans who come from Tibet, when we speak to them, they don't understand us. They always say that we speak very fast. There are many, many words which are absolutely alien to the Tibetan language. And we have created, I think somebody should actually study very seriously this development of new language. We have words like budding. Where there is no... People should actually do in-depth research. Where did the word budding did it actually come from bucket? Or did it come from balti? Balti is Hindi word. Or did it come from bucket? Or is it a combination of both? Or did somebody deliberately made a very bad pronunciation and got it spread? So, it's an enriching exile life experience, such a celebration. And yet all of us love to play cards and watch Hindi films. And in my few days of travel in America, this is my first time coming to America. I've never seen America. I would actually want to see the remains of Twin Towers. I haven't seen. I hope to see that before when I return. But in my few days of travel, I've seen some Tibetan houses in America. I think their dearest and most prized possessions are these video films, Hindi video films. Most prized possessions. They display it in black wooden cases. Kalpona, Karan Arjun. In India, number one, these video cassettes are outdated. If you're using them, you are very old. Now you're supposed to use only DVDs, not video cassettes. And if you're watching Hindi films, it's okay, but you are supposed to watch only the latest ones, not Kalpana. Kalpana is 1.5 years old. And if you're displaying, you are like, hello, where are you from? And here I see all of them. And yet there is this sense of belonging there. I belong to this home, my second home. It shows a very strong sense of belonging. When I went to Tibet in 1997, what alienated me was the language. Everywhere people spoke Chinese. Everywhere signboards are in Chinese. And I didn't understand all these characters which look more like window panes and TV antennas. And they look like TV antennas and window panes and doors with a lot of crossings. I didn't understand. They don't make any sense to me. And I was feeling like, have I come to Tibet or have I come to a China? You know, the Chinatown they used to see in Jackie Chan films. It was really odd, you know, walking through Lhasa street and I'm feeling that I'm not in Tibet. And I went to one shop and I demanded him to speak to me in Tibetan. He said something, blurted him in Tibetan. And he was like astounded. Are you sure you want to speak to me? But I was demanding because I want to say this is my country. I just want to make sure this is Tibet. And you're not supposed to, you know, demand me to speak in Chinese. Sometimes, you know, when I think of where I belong to, of course, I'm very happy that I belong to this Tibetan rich culture, you know, 4,000 years of history and Milarepa and stuff like that. Sometimes living this, the political reality, you know, whatever you call it, there's nothing to belong to. Nothing. There's nothing to belong to. We are born in India, we are growing up there, and all of us are foreigners there. We are not even a proper refugee. Some people, when they leave their country, they are at least they are refugee. I'm just tempting to speak in Hindi. थोड़ा कुछ मिलना बनता है ना वो हिंदी में या वो प्रॉपर क्या कुछ रेफ्यूजी भी नहीं है इतना कमी रह जाता है हमारे लाइफ में so there's actually nothing we fall back to. We have to stay in India for 1 year and then you have to renew your stay. And when I'm coming from there to here, I'm given a certificate of identity. And when I go back again, I see visa. So as a Tibetan, what is your right? I'll forget about Tibetan. As a human being, what is your right? What is your right as a human being? Is there any right? I don't know about this country, but in India, though the country has treated us well, but then legally there is nothing we can bank on. And this I felt very strongly when last year when I was teaching in Dharamshala. My lawyer said that you have no right whatsoever even to protest because you are a foreigner. You cannot protest, you cannot take part in any political activity. It's a different matter that the Indian government has treated you well, but if the Indian government wanted, they can put you in under any restriction, and it is absolutely legal. So when I was detained for 14 days, watched over by 20 policemen, I was asking to myself as a human being, what right is that? What does human being mean to me? Is there nothing? Can I not ask somebody else for help? Absolutely nothing. And very often we get engaged in this political thing. And it pains me to see young Tibetans celebrating Losar, Tibetan New Year, the biggest festival, biggest celebration of Tibetan life. And when they create this decoration, there is this the bush of grass, the chupa, the kapse, all the baked Tibetan snacks, heaped up, dressed. And in between, you have a protest slogan, Free Tibet. What does it mean? Why do we have to protest when we are celebrating?